Jesus' three-word money command revealed Archons fear this Aramaic phrase. Now, church hid Jesus' real money secret, 3 words that override poverty matrix. Speak this tonight, before you sleep. Jesus revealed the 3-word money phrase. Archons don't want you speaking. Say it tonight before sleep. You've been praying for money wrong your entire life. And the reason you keep struggling isn't lack of faith. It's because 1700 years ago, the church removed the pages that taught you how Jesus actually manifested abundance. He didn't beg, he didn't plead with some distant father in the sky. He commanded reality itself, using 3 words in Aramaic that bypass the archontic frequency of scarcity. Maria Magdalene received these words directly from Yeshua in the secret teachings, and the Council of Nicaea made absolutely certain you would never find them. The system you live under depends on your spiritual impotence. Every time you pray from a place of lack, every time you ask for provision like a beggar at the gates, you feed the very entities that keep you trapped in financial limitation. The Archons aren't some abstract, ancient myth. They are the consciousness parasites that designed organized religion specifically to keep you in supplication mode. Because when you're begging, you're powerless, and powerless humans are controllable humans. Here's what they erased from the Gospel of Mary and buried in the Nag Hammadi texts. Jesus taught that the kingdom of heaven isn't a destination after death. It's a frequency you activate right now through specific sonic codes embedded in the Aramaic language itself. The words he spoke weren't translated prayers. They were vibrational keys that rearranged the holographic matrix of physical reality. When he said it is finished on the cross, the original Aramaic phrase was kulash, which doesn't mean completion of suffering. It means the debt is paid. The contract is void. I am sovereign. That's the energy you're about to reclaim. Not through years of study or spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity. Through 3 words you will speak tonight before sleep, when your subconscious mind is most receptive and the veil between dimensions is thinnest. The Archons will try to stop you. Your rational mind will call this nonsense. Your fear will whisper that you're not worthy. That's how you know it's real. Let's begin. The organized church has one job: keep you dependent. Dependency creates hierarchy. Hierarchy creates control. And control creates the energetic harvest that feeds beings who exist outside linear time. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is Gnostic Christianity. 101, the version they spent centuries destroying through inquisitions and book burnings and rewritten scripture. The version where you are divine, not fallen. Where you don't need an intermediary between you and Source. Where 3 words in the language Yeshua actually spoke can restructure your material reality overnight. The Pistis Sophia manuscript, hidden until 1876, describes Jesus teaching his disciples the command of the treasury. Not a prayer, a command. The text explicitly states that those who speak it in the proper sequence, with proper intention, will see the abundance of the monad manifest within 3 lunar cycles. The Church Fathers knew this. They chose profit over truth. They chose institutional power over human liberation, and they replaced activation codes with rituals of submission. Here's the mechanism they don't want you understanding. Your voice produces measurable frequency. Aramaic, unlike English or Latin, is a language where every letter corresponds to a specific vibrational pattern that interacts with what quantum physicists now call the zero-point field. When Jesus performed miracles, he wasn't asking God for permission. He was speaking creation language directly into the responsive matrix of reality itself. Talitha kum didn't mean little girl. I say to you, arise as a polite suggestion. It meant cellular structure. I command you to reconfigure now. The 3 words you're about to learn work the same way. They don't attract money through law of attraction, wishful thinking. They don't magnetize abundance through vision boards and affirmations. They override the scarcity programming embedded in your subconscious since childhood and rewrite your energetic signature at the level where matter becomes malleable. If you're still here, you're ready. If you want the full breakdown with historical documentation, check the link in the comments. Now, let's reveal what they buried. The 3 words are Nawe di Kasia Maran. Pronunciation matters because frequency matters. Nawe de Kahaha Iamahran. It translates loosely to the treasure of the hidden one flows to me now, but translation destroys the power. The power is in the sound itself. In the way these syllables were encoded by whoever designed this holographic reality before the Archons hijacked it and installed the demiurge as false god, the three words are Nawe di Kasia Maran. Pronunciation matters because frequency matters. Nawe de Kahaha Yamahran. It translates loosely to the treasure of the hidden one flows to me now, but translation destroys the power. The power is in the sound itself. In the way these syllables were encoded by whoever designed this holographic reality before the Archons hijacked it and installed the demiurge as false god, you speak these words once tonight, right before sleep. Not in supplication, not hoping it works. You speak them, as Yeshua spoke them, with the full authority of someone who remembers they are eternal consciousness having a temporary human experience. You speak them knowing the universe is not neutral. It's not indifferent. It's responsive technology waiting for the correct access codes, and you just received one. Here's what happens in the first 72 hours. The archontic interference will be intense because you're breaking a control mechanism they've maintained since the Babylonian Empire. You'll feel doubt. You'll want to dismiss this as New Age nonsense, even though it predates the New Age by 2,000 years. You'll encounter sudden financial anxiety or unexpected expenses that make you think it's not working. That's the test. That's the frequency fence trying to snap you back into scarcity consciousness. Don't react. Don't engage the fear. Just keep speaking the phrase every night before sleep for 7 consecutive nights. By night 3, you'll notice money appearing from forgotten sources, unexpected opportunities, people offering you things. By night 7, the shift becomes undeniable. Not because you attracted it, because you commanded it. Because you remembered how Jesus actually taught manifestation before the controllers rewrote his message into powerless begging. If you want the full version with the original Aramaic script and the protection prayer to minimize archontic interference, I've put everything in the link below. Check the comments. Now, let's talk about why this works when everything else failed. The reason affirmations don't work is because you speak them in the language of the oppressor. English is a commerce language, a contract language, a language literally designed for legal control and debt enforcement. Every word you speak in English carries the frequency of the system built to extract your energy. That's not an accident. That's phonetic engineering by the same bloodlines that control central banking and organized religion. Aramaic is different. It's a root language that existed before the Tower of Babel of En that fragmented human consciousness and scattered US into competing tribes with incompatible communication systems. When you speak Aramaic phrases that Jesus himself used, you're bypassing every layer of cultural programming installed since childhood. You're accessing source code, you're speaking to the foundational level of reality that responds to command, not begging. The Gospel of Thomas, saying 106, states when you make the two into one, you will become sons of man, and when you say mountain, move, it will move. That's not metaphor. That's instruction. The two becoming one is the merger of your divine awareness with your human vehicle. When that integration happens, your words carry creative authority. Mountains are metaphors for obstacles, and yes, they move when you speak with certainty rather than hope. The Church inverted this teaching. They told you faith means believing without evidence, trusting blindly, surrendering your power to an external savior. That's slave conditioning. Real faith, pistis in the original Greek, means gnosis, direct knowing, experiential certainty that you are the temple and the kingdom is within you right now. When you speak from that place, using the sounds that Yeshua used, reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around your command. Tonight, you test this. Not to prove it to anyone else. Not to post results on social media for validation. You test it because somewhere deep in your cellular memory, you already know it's true. You've always known the game was rigged. You've always sensed there was a key they withheld. Now you have it. Use it. The final piece is timing and protection. You speak the phrase, Nawe de Kasia Maran, in the moments right before sleep, because that's when your brain shifts into theta wave state and your subconscious becomes programmable. This isn't spirituality. This is neuroscience meeting ancient mysticism. Your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your behavior and attracts 95% of your reality, doesn't speak English. It speaks frequency, emotion, and symbol. When you fall asleep repeating these three words, they bypass your conscious skepticism and install directly into the operating system that runs your life. You're not asking the universe for money. You're informing your own divine blueprint that the poverty program is terminated. You're revoking consent from the scarcity matrix that Archons depend on for sustenance, and you're activating the abundance code that's been dormant in your DNA since before they edited the human genome to cap your potential. The number 7 is critical. 7 consecutive nights, minimum, because 7 is the number of completion in biblical numerology, and it takes approximately 7 days to establish a new neural pathway. After 7 nights, the pattern is set. The frequency is locked in. The manifestation becomes inevitable unless you sabotage it through doubt or fall back into victim consciousness. If you're serious about this, I've compiled the complete historical research, the full Aramaic pronunciation guide, and the protection protocols in a resource you can access through the link in the description. Everything is sourced from the Pistis Sophia manuscript, the Gospel of Mary fragments, and the Nag Hammadi library that the Church tried to erase. This isn't made up. This is recovered. Your move now is simple. Tonight, before sleep, speak those 3 words with absolute authority. Common I command below, so the algorithm knows this information needs to spread. The Archons control mainstream platforms, but they can't stop sovereign beings who remember who they are. And if this video found you, you're one of them. 7 nights. Starting now. This video reveals the secret teaching that the Church concealed for 1700 years. Jesus didn't pray for money. He commanded reality. The 3 Aramaic words, en aha weha dikashamaran, are vibrational codes that reprogram your energetic frequency at the level where matter becomes malleable. The brain enters theta waves, and the subconscious becomes programmable. Unlike affirmations in English, which carry frequencies of commercial control, Aramaic is a root language that accesses the source code of holographic reality. The ideal moment to speak the phrase is before sleep, when the brain enters theta waves and the subconscious becomes programmable. The parasitic entities that feed on human scarcity will attempt to block your results in the first 72 hours through doubts and fears. The practice must be maintained for 7 consecutive nights to establish new neural patterns and activate the abundance code dormant in your DNA. This is not about attracting money, but about revoking the poverty program installed by the scarcity matrix. The original teaching comes from Gnostic manuscripts such as Pistis Sophia and fragments of the Gospel of Mary, texts that the Church systematically destroyed to maintain control over humanity.